Justin, hi, Jim Delapine here. I want to give you some feedback on this. You did a good job with all the layer masks, and I want to help you take this a step further. Okay, so let me just hit Control 0 to fit this into the window. And this is a little bit too wide, so we're going to make him a little taller. But more importantly, the basketball looks a little odd because of the edges of the basketball. So if I right click on the layer mask for that layer and disable it, I see why. I mean, the original basketball is actually, it actually looks like that, but I think it'll be weird, and I want to show you how you can fix that. Okay, so let me enable the layer mask. And we're going to work on the layer mask. So I want you to go to the elliptical marquee tool and click and drag out. Okay, and as you're dragging, hold down the shift key to constrain that to a circle. And I want you to get the approximate edge. I'm looking for an edging that'll be approximate to the edge of the basketball. I'm going to go right about there, and then let go with my mouse first, and then the shift key. So in any selection tool, you can reposition the selection anywhere you want. So I'm going to go right about here. Okay, I'm looking at this area up here. Okay, so I'll zoom in. And I'm going to use this. This is perhaps a little bit small. Let me just redo this. I'm going to click and drag out, hold down the shift key, and then let go of my mouse first, and then the shift key. Okay. Then I'll zoom in, reposition this, and then I'm lining this up with this edge here. I want a perfectly round edge instead of this in and out kind of thing. Okay. So if I line this right up here, right along that edge. Okay, and maybe come in a little bit. Okay, I only want basketball. I want to get rid of that black here, and I want to get rid of these little indentations. It looks weird. It will look weird in the end once you put a background in. Okay, so I don't mind that they're coming in with the black area meets the edge, but along here it looks weird. So with your paintbrush active and black is your foreground color, and the layer mask active. Click on the layer mask for the basketball layer. I'm then going to paint along here to mask out that portion of that. Whoops. Okay, so what you have to do first is this. You've selected the basketball. I want everything else but the basketball selected. So you need to hit Shift F7. So now it's inversed the selection. So now everything else but the basketball is selected. So everything back here is selected. So now if I paint on the layer mask, again, I'm masking out that part. Okay? There, that looks a lot better. It's okay that it comes in here and out. Okay? So now I'll go back to my selection tool and reposition, whoops, selection tool, and with the, wait a second, why can't I move that? Yeah, the reason is you cannot go back and then move it again, you know, even if the selection key is active. So what you need to do is use the arrow keys on your keyboard. So to move it, so I'm going to use my down arrow key and then my left arrow key and right arrow key, whatever it takes to line that up. So it's right along this edge here. So this is the edge I'm looking for, okay? Then I'll go in and with the layer mask active, I'll paint with black along that edge, okay? All right, once that looks good, I'll use my arrow keys again to move that down to this area here. And I'll just mask out that edge. Now, there's something else you can do here. If I hit Shift F7 again so that the basketball is active, right? So that means that if I paint on here, see, it's affecting this area here. Let me undo that. What you can do is fill in an area also. So let's just say, I'll come back over here, right? So let's just say I want to fill this in, all right? With the image part active, I'm now going to edit the image. So if I go to my clone tool, all right, and make sure it's at 100% hardness, all right, and then get a larger brush. So if I hit my right bracket key, I'm getting a larger brush. See, it's increasing it. The left bracket key to the right of the P will decrease it. So here's how this works. If you Alt-click here, Alt-click or Option-click right here, it's picking up, it's a sample of this area. And then I'll come straight down, and it actually gives you a preview. I can click and drag, and it's painting. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, it's masked out. That's not going to work. All right, never mind. So, yeah, all right, there's a way to do it, but it's a little too complicated. It's very complicated, and you'll go crazy listening to me talk about it. So again, Shift F7, and then just paint with black on the layer mask to mask out this part here. Okay, and then continue on. Okay, so all right, let me deselect. So this will look a lot better once you bring a background in. All right, otherwise it looks sloppy and it'll look weird. I'm going to suggest that you do this, that you take these images here. I'm going to select this image here. As long as you're in the Move tool and this is checked, it'll go right to any layer that you click on. Any pixels that you click on, it'll go right to that layer. So if I hit Control T, then I want to rotate this. So if I take this center point and drag it to right about here, all right, it's going to rotate around that center point. Okay, so I can drag it up. All right, that'll make it more vertical. I'll hit Enter to apply it. All right, and I'll leave that as is. All right, but I want to select everything here and move it down. All right, so if I click on the top layer and shift click the bottom layer, it's selecting all these layers. Move tool active, I'll just reposition everything down here. All right, and then I'm going to select, let me just click over here and then select the CD. The CD is just kind of floating there. All right, doesn't make sense that it's there. So let's make it a head. So I'm going to move it straight up. All right, and we'll put this on top. But I want to make it so that it's, let's place this behind, let's change the stacking order, so bring this behind this. All right, so I'll line it up, so it looks like that. All right, and then what I'll do is this, instead of that being centered, let me fill the background with black. I want to see something here, so Alt, delete. Okay, so you have that cut out. There's a white, okay. You do have the center of the CD cut out. Good job on that. All right, so let's do this. Let's make this appear as if it's going into this. So if I come up here, put this right about here. I'm looking at these edges here. Let's see, right about here. I want to now, yeah, let's see. On this layer here, right, this layer here, I'm going to paint with black right here. I'm going to, with the layer mask active, I'm going to click and shift click. So now it looks like it's going inside that, okay? I can also steal part of this. I'm going to take a gumball here that has a round, perfectly round area. I'll go to my rectangular marquee tool. I'll put a selection around, let's say the yellow one. All right, as I'm dragging, I'm going to hold down my shift key. Well, actually I don't have to, but if you hold down the space bar, you can reposition it anywhere. So I'll just select one of these gumballs, all right, with the image part active. All right, I'm going to hit Control J. So it's going to copy what's in this selection of the gumball. Actually, let me go to the pink one. All right, it's going to copy what's inside the selection of the image and copy to the layer above. So Control J. So that copied that to the layer above, and it looks like that. It's on its own layer. All right. So now all you got to do is zoom back out. With the Move tool active, just drag this up. Maybe put this in the center. All right. It looks a little weird here. Maybe you could scale it down or up. I don't know. Put it right about like that. I don't know how that looks, but that's something that's interesting and unique. All right, so I think something like that would work. All right, so I hope that helped. All right, take care.